What's up, YouTube? It's old Paul Bastard Prepping here, and thought I'd make a second video on pocket knife and multi-tool selection. You're gonna have to excuse my junky old camera angle here because we don't believe in tripods or video editing. We just take it on the first take and just run with it. Because I'll be honest with you, I don't have time to edit my videos, even though I probably should. Anyway, that's not the point. Main point of this video is choosing the right tool for the job or the right pocket knife for what you might need. And let me tell you, they come in many different flavors. You got your multi-tool here. This here's a Leatherman Signal. I picked it because I like camping crap, and it's got just the right amount of tools I need, plus a pair of pliers for unfucking something out in the bush or out in the field. I need something wider, but I still need a little bit of versatility. Good old Swiss Army knife. These things come in a wide variety of different tools, colors, options. Here's one I put some custom scales on, because I like the color green. But yeah, I mean, a pocket knife, I don't care what trade you're in. You could be one of them blue collar office jockeys that need a small knife for something else, or something absolutely heavy duty for, like, I don't know, hunting, gutting deer, processing game, cutting a wire. Or if you're a good old boy, which I kind of am, a pocket knife, that's just an unwritten rule. You always have a knife in your pocket no matter what. Well, where I come from anyway, in southern Indiana. So I've used a pocket knife to pop open cans, obviously with Swiss Army knife. I've processed game with them. I've had to rewire stuff. Just, a pocket knife is just an absolute necessity if, if you're not a normie and you kind of got to fix things on the fly. Hell, even past time just carving a stick. Seriously. But I just figured I'd bring that subject up because every man, and I mean every single man on this ball of dirt, should have some type of knife in their pocket all times. This one right here, this is what they call a traditional stockman. Usually got three blades. You got the main blade here, a sheep's foot blade there, and a spade blade. And you're saying, well, why? It's a knife. You should have only one blade, right? Hold up. Each blade has a different shape on it for different types of cutting purposes. Now, the Stockman, it was originally designed for, like, ranchers, farmers, etc. This one right here is used for good straight cuts. This one's more of a general purpose clip point for kind of sweeping cuts, general purpose. And this blade here with the curved tip, they actually call that a spade blade for, let's just say, how can I put this without getting too offensive? They use this for processing game or taking the reproductive junk off of a male species of, say, like a cow, or you get what I'm kind of saying, what I'm throwing down here. But they take that spade blade, and there you go. This is what I consider traditional carry. Next one up on this list of different blade shapes and different knives. This one here is what they call a trapper. You can see how the blade shape's even more different than the three on the Stockman. Long sweeping curve, long clip point. same way. This type of traditional knife, it's called a trapper because a trapper would carry one of these and they'd use it to carefully process the pellets off of a trapped animal like, I don't know, mink, raccoon, possum, use your imagination. That's why those blades are like that, and I like long, different blade shapes for different purposes. But to keep it kind of simple, real simple, that's where this thing comes in handy. Good old Swiss Army knife. It's got a spear point blade. I mean, I'd say honestly, this type of blade shape more than efficient for 80% of daily task, even light duty processing the game. I like an old Swiss Army knife because this thing is lighter and slimmer than say this bulky old Leatherman. But when you need a pair of pliers, more often than not, the old Leatherman's the way to go. And you know, they come with different tools too. Like say for instance, you would be absolutely surprised of how handy a pair of scissors in your pocket really is. A pair of scissors of all the tools on a Swiss Army knife, I use them probably the most besides the blades. And while we're going down that route of SHTF, general preparedness, camping, boating, etc., you and the boys want to pop a Coke bottle? Boom, there's your bottle opener. There's your flathead for screwing stuff. It's got a wire stripper. And another thing that I like to have on all my Swiss Army knives in some form or fashion is a can opener. I don't have an electric can opener here at the house. These get used quite often. And, you know, if you are into collecting or accumulating junk like I am, you can often go to thrift shops and find awesomely sweet knives for not a lot of coin. I picked up this old Cub Scout knife, like $20, just sitting in a thrift store or a retail shop collecting rust, not being used. I'd rather have this thing in my pocket than sit on a shelf or, wait for someone to eventually buy it, put it in a collection. Yeah, I collect them, sure, but I occasionally use my stuff. This one right here is what they call a linesman's knife or a TL-29. This was actually this is actually military surplus. It was issued to linesmen where they work on communication lines and all that junk, or pretty much they needed a multi-tool to like lay telephone lines and lines to facilitate communications, logistics, that kind of shit. But this thing excels in it's nice and simple, and just like the Swiss Army knife, it's got a real common spear point blade that's pretty universal. 80% of situations, this spear point blade probably all you'd ever need. But it's also got just a wire stripper and a flathead that locks in place with a brass liner lock. Incredibly simple knife, incredibly useful. I can't tell you how many times I've actually used a flathead on one of my folding knives to pop a staple out, open a package, tighten down a screw as its original intended purpose, clean my nails. Just something absolutely incredible, incredibly useful to have in your pockets. But 9 times out of 10, it's usually a good old Swiss Army knife. These things are fairly inexpensive, very reliable, very well built, just all around excellent value for the money. Yeah. So thank you for listening to me rattle on about knives and multi-tools and the extreme usefulness of why every man on this ball of dirt should have one in his pocket. Y'all have a good one, YouTube. This old poor bastard prepping.